Hello everyone! Happy Tuesday? Is it Tuesday? Anyway, hi. Welcome Instagram Live. I'm here with my sous chef, actually the chief chef, Caroline Monahan, and we're super excited because we're doing an Instagram Live with Carrie's, I don't know, muse, what would you call her? Your role model in the kitchen? Are you getting all shy? Anyway, Alison Roman, who writes twice a week for the New York Times. She's an incredible chef. And Alison Roman has become the go-to woman for great recipes during this pandemic. So Alison is going to join us, and she's going to help us make a dish. Carrie, what is Alison going to help us make tonight?
It's a zucchini pasta with feta and shallots and capers and lots of fresh herbs.
Yum.
And lemon. And I think the lemon is like fried.
Oh, the lemon. Where are the lemons?
Over here.
Oh, they're over there. Okay. So, Carrie, tell everyone what you've been making that Alison Roman, what recipes have you been making so far? Because Carrie's been cooking up some really awesome meals. Oh, and by the way, Alison is going to make us a cocktail too. What kind of Alison Roman dishes have you made so far? You made her chickpea stew twice.
Yeah, we've made that. We've made a lot of her desserts too. So a citrus cheesecake, a ginger molasses cake. What else have we made? Oh, the shallot pasta that's really popular.
Yeah.
A kind of green bean casserole inspired green bean dish.
And so
what else have we made, Adriana?
And the turmeric cake.
Yeah,
the turmeric cake. Is that Alison's cake? Mm-hmm. And she does cook with a lot of cool spices,
yeah,
right?
she really likes turmeric. And we've made this roasted cauliflower with feta.
Yeah.
And
the carrots weren't. That was from
something
else.
But that's New York Times too. And then this butternut squash with hazelnuts. That was hers.
Oh yeah, that was delicious. I love that. Is Alison joining us?
Alison will be here momentarily.
Okay, good. So we have everything kind of waiting to be made. Adriana and Carrie put this together. Should we get the lemons ready, you guys?
Sure.
Yeah.
What are we supposed to do with the lemons?
Oh, here's Alison.
Alison!
Hi.
Hi, Alison.
Very close.
How are you?
Far away. I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for doing this Instagram Live. We were just singing your praises. This is my daughter, Carrie, and she's become quite the chef during the pandemic at times, and she's cooking so many of your recipes, Alison.
That's so nice. Thank you. I am very pleased to be here. Very pleased to meet both of you. That's great news for me.
Well, have you been cooking away during this time? Have you been trying lots of new recipes? Have you been going to some of your old standbys? What have you been doing?
Yeah, it's been like surprise. I think it started off really strong. I feel like I was very ambitious at the beginning, and you know, there was like pizza night and fried chicken night and Japanese soba night, and it was, you know, there were a lot of goals that I had, and I felt like it was the perfect time to, you know, make dishes that typically take longer or I didn't have the energy for. And now I'm back to the place where I'm like, okay, give me like a piece of cheese and that's it, you know. I'm sort of in a slump, so I'm grateful to be making an actual meal right now, because I feel like left to my own devices, it would be like pickles from the jar and like God knows what. So
well, Carrie has been honestly cooking up a storm. I told her she should have gone to culinary school instead of journalism school for graduate school, but she has been making, just tell Alison real quickly, we made your chickpea stew twice. Carrie did.
Mm-hmm.
We made the shallot pasta twice.
Nice.
We made the farro. My favorite is the farro with sour cream and
and the mushrooms. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
probably
delicious.
my favorite one of the year too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We made the butternut squash with hazelnuts. We've made a couple times of cauliflower with herbs and turmeric and feta and
Amazing.
turmeric.
You're like
cake,
official
molasses
like
cake. We made your citrus cheesecake. So we've made it.
We've been basically, Alison, we've been your test kitchen.
I was gonna say, I should just hire you both to like make sure that anything I'm publishing in the future is up to snuff. So
Well,
thank
definitely
you so much for
I hired
cooking.
Carrie, not me. But what is your philosophy? I mean, we noticed that you love turmeric and you like spices, and you also work for David Chang. He credits you with a lot of his success. What is sort of your
I'm sure.
No, he did. We just
far, yeah.
Yeah, he did. Well, he said that how great you were. So no, I'm
that's so
serious.
nice. That's so,
He
so
does.
nice.
And sort of. So when you think about cooking, what are you interested in terms of different dishes?
Well, I feel like the dish that we're making today is actually which is one that I had forgotten about because it was from last summer, but kind of really perfectly illustrates the types of food that I love eating, which are like generally pretty heavy on the vegetables, heavy on the lemon. I love cooking with the whole lemon, which we do here, which I think is a really underutilized ingredient, but I love the whole thing. I love the zest. I love the juice. I love eating peels of lemon. I feel like it is like an entirely different experience when you're eating. And I love herbs. So I feel like for this one, there's like 5 different types of herbs that you can use. And then there's something crunchy. So I feel like all of my food has, you know, like a pretty intense flavor profile. I'm not a very quiet person, and I don't think that my food is quiet either. But it doesn't mean that it's complicated. I feel like, generally speaking, I like to work with, you know, one dish not having any more than like 5 to 8 ingredients, and feeling like, you know, if you treat those ingredients specifically and specially, then you're going to end up with something really delicious. You don't need to like throw the contents of your spice drawer into a pot to make something taste good. I feel like you just have to kind of treat each ingredient the way it wants to be treated, and you're going to get something really great.
And you think Alison's recipes are relatively easy, right? I mean, except for the shallot pasta, Carrie said it took her a
Well,
long.
that's because I doubled it. And
She
so-
doubled it, so she had to slice a lot of shallots.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you have a mandolin, I've seen people do that with the shallot pasta, but yeah, but I feel like if you spend the time on the front end, like slicing all the shallots, then anytime you want shallot pasta, it's just ready to go. So you are saving time long term, you know?
Yeah.
So why don't you, Carrie, chef, for you, we have prepared all the ingredients except for the lemon. So do you want to give us a quick course in what we're doing? Because some of my friends are
Let me
watching
move
from
this
home.
back and let me just see if I can get to see a little bit more of what I'm doing here. I'm like very new on the tech side of things and feel like I still am struggling to figure out the best angles for these things. You guys have it figured out over there.
Not really.
I sliced my lemon already, but basically I feel like you need a sharp knife, right? And I always take here. I'll get another lemon for us.
I'm gonna watch while Carrie does it.
Okay. Here, I'll tilt this down just
Here.
to see a little bit better.
Here, how are we doing this? Okay, hold on. Okay, hi. Oh, good.
Hi.
Look, that's good.
So I always kind of start by cutting off that end piece right there, just because that's all pith. And so you just want to make sure that your first slice is exposing the fruit, essentially.
Careful with your fingers, please.
Okay.
And this can take practice, but I feel like, you know, I have a lot of it because I, again, love to cook with whole lemon. But you want to start with something that's like, you know, pretty thin. It's not paper thin, but because we are cooking these, and then I feel like, you know, having a slice this big.
Yeah. I think that's good. Maybe a little thinner.
And
Yeah.
anytime you encounter a seed, you want to take out the seed.
Here.
I've also made the chicken. I think it's with kale and white beans and lemons.
Oh, yeah. There's whole
I
lemon
think-
in that, too.
Careful.
Yeah, so I feel like, you know, it takes practice, and if they're not perfectly thin, you know, all the way around, like this one's a little thicker on one side, but that's okay.
Here, why don't you hold this? You want me
So
to
is
do
this
one?
one too thin?
No, that's great.
Okay.
Here, you want me to do one too? Or
That's great. I feel like it's still,
Okay, I'll do
yeah,
one.
you're doing great.
We're
I feel
one and a half.
like in something like this, when we're cooking the lemon, it's kind of better to err on the side of thinner And when we're using it for something like in Nothing Fancy, there's a recipe for little gem lettuces with chopped lemon dressing. And that you kind of, if it's thicker when you're slicing it, that's okay because you're going to chop up the whole thing anyway. I'm just making like a teeny batch because I'm just here by myself. So
We're
I don't need a
1.5ing
pasta
the
for
rest
4
of it.
tonight, but.
We're making it for 5 people.
Oh, good. Okay, perfect.
Okay. So look, Carrie, I helped. There you go.
You guys are doing great. Are you guys drinking is it time for a beverage or no?
Oh yeah. Are we doing the beverage?
No pressure. I don't want to be like a pressure.
Oh yeah. Look, sister. Look what we got.
Oh, good. Okay. Same.
Okay.
Let me get my ice.
Not to brag or anything, but I made a Negroni after I watched Stanley Tucci.
Uh-huh.
And then I bought Ryan Reynolds gin because I wanted to support his gin because he's so cute. And look at Ryan Reynolds sent me as a result.
What? Ryan Reynolds, call me. I would love to do
Right? How beautiful, how sweet.
That is extremely nice. That is extremely nice.
Don't worry, Blake, he's yours. But
No,
I think
no.
this is
I
really
like
sweet
this
of
is a
him.
non-threatening. You're both really hot, honestly. So,
Oh yeah.
and if I had to pick, I would say Stanley Tucci could send me flowers too.
Yeah.
I would.
Oh, I know. Hello. Here. Okay. While Carrie does maybe you should start cooking that, Carrie, because Carrie's nervous.
It comes together pretty quick. I feel like is your pasta cooking?
I boiled it. I'm boiling the water. But tell us about the drink, Allison.
Okay, so this is today it's actually a beautiful, beautiful New York day. I have all my windows open. And this is like the summer drink, but I say it's a summer drink, but I drink it all year round. But it's basically my version of a spritz, which is not, there's no technical measurements. It's kind of an eyeball thing.
Yeah.
And it's something that you can use so many different types of alcohol. But the key ingredients here are like a red, dark sort of bitter aperitif. I'm using this one from Forte, which I really love. They're made in Brooklyn, and I love them. And this is kind of like, I would use this instead of Campari or Aperol, but you could use Campari or Aperol.
Okay. I have no idea what I'm doing because I can't see. It's Adriana's holding the phone.
You're doing great.
Okay.
You're honestly doing great.
Thank
So,
you.
yeah, you fill your glass with ice. We're on the same page. Great. This is also the only time I use a wine glass. I drink my wine out of small cups, and I only use a wine glass for spritz. So this feels very
Is this
fancy.
too big? Is this too big? I thought they were pretty.
No, that's great. I mean, it's like, the spritz you're going to drink. So I feel like that's the perfect size. Okay, so you fill your glass with ice. If you have citrus, either more lemon or you can use oranges. I have tangerines, so I need those.
Oh, we have oranges.
Great. And I like to kind of slice them thinly and add them to the ice.
Those are clementines.
These are clementines. Can I use
Perfect.
these anyway?
Love a clementine.
Okay. I think these will work. Oh, that looks so pretty. Oh.
Beautiful. Perfect. And so for this, it's like, you need some of that red aperitif bitter situation. You need sparkling wine or any wine, and then soda water. Yeah, perfect. I'm going to open my sparkling wine. I realize that I actually only have flavored sparkling water, so I'm going to skip that part, but I'm just going to use the aperitivo and sparkling wine.
Okay.
But you want it, it's like a third of this. So you do like a third of Campari.
Okay. A third of Campari?
Yeah.
Oh, we just put the pasta in.
Great, perfect. I'll
I
put my
can heat
pasta
up
in
that.
I feel like we're doing a lot of things at the same time.
But I think you can heat it up, and then you can start doing that as soon as we're
Should we
done.
start heating the oil?
No, I would wait.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll
pour
wait.
the drinks and then we can start.
Okay, we're pouring the drinks.
Okay, sorry.
Perfect. First things first, we need a beverage.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
Woo.
A third with Campari.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're doing ours with rosé too.
I love it. Okay, then I would fill another third with rosé. And again, I feel like this is gonna be, people are gonna get up in arms. They're gonna say, "Oh, it's not a real spritz recipe," but this is not a real spritz recipe. This is just how I like mine. These are amazing.
We're going
glasses.
with you, Allison.
I love it. Thank you for trusting in me.
We do.
And then you
Allison, we
basically
trust.
want to top off the rest with soda water. And you can kind of, based on what kind of wine you have, based on what kind of spirit you have, just make this your own.
So what are you using in yours?
I'm using the spirit from Fourth Ave Spirits, which is a Brooklyn company. I really like the way that they do stuff. It's kind of like not quite as sweet as Aperol and maybe a little sweeter than Campari, but same kind of deals, very like botanical and bitter.
I'm putting lemon in too. Is that okay?
Of course it is. Yeah, lemon, grapefruit, lime, orange, any citrus goes here.
Okay. Look how pretty that is.
Great, it's gorgeous. Cheers.
Cheers.
Nice to meet you guys. Thanks for
Nice
drinking.
to meet you. Here, Carrie. Here, Adriana.
So good.
Here, taste it. And it is a beautiful sunny day.
You need
Cheers.
to
Yeah.
down. It's boiling.
And I think like what I'll, like, as I drink it, if I'm like, oh, because the Campari or, whatever aperitif you're drinking is going to be at the bottom and it is a bit more bitter and sweet. So as I'm drinking it, I'll top it off with more soda water and just kind of sip it for a while.
Yeah, I like it because it is sort of. Is that good? No, you. Maybe
I've only had one sip.
Okay. Yum.
And you kind of figure out your own proportions. If you're like, oh, I only want a splash of this or more wine or more soda water. I was talking with my grandma today, actually, and she reminded me that she's the one who taught me about drinking wine with soda water, and she's right. So,
Aww. Where does she live?
she lives north of Seattle.
How's she doing with all this?
She's fine. She's in like an assisted living place, and she wasn't leaving anyway. But she's like, they won't let us out. I'm like, and I'm like, oh, Grandma, that's horrible. But honestly, she wasn't going anywhere anyway.
It's kind of scary being
know.
in a facility like that. Okay. All right. Now we're going to turn the oil on. Okay.
I'm actually gonna wait for
Great.
I have like one more minute on the pasta, and I just wanted it to be over before I
Okay.
do everything else.
Okay. So.
Okay.
Do you want to
You
talk
want to
through the
just toast your
ingredients?
nuts first,
Very-
maybe?
Yeah.
Do you want to toast your nuts first?
Oh yes, we forgot that. Do we have-
I mean, it's like an
Well,
optional thing. I don't even have walnuts. I'm using hazelnuts, but we can also skip the nuts.
We have hazelnuts.
Skip the nuts. Just
don't
skip
have
them.
pine nuts.
Pine nuts.
We have pine nuts or
I love
hazelnuts?
pine nuts for this.
Okay, let's do
I'm
pine
using
nuts.
hazelnuts, but either would be great.
Well, let's use. Can we mix?
Yeah, mix it up.
Let's
I love
mix.
that for you.
Okay. So how much? I was about to say how many nuts, and then I was gonna say how much nuts.
Precisely 12
nuts.
hazelnuts. I want you to chop individually 12 hazelnuts. No, for something like 5 people, I would toast a half a cup of nuts. That's great.
Okay, and is it okay if the hazelnuts have the skin on?
Absolutely. Most hazelnuts do. I always keep the skin on them. That doesn't
Okay.
bother me at all.
Carrie doesn't want me to help.
Do you want to?
No, you can help. Okay. And I'm gonna kind of mix it with the pine nuts.
Perfect. And so for this, I feel like everything for this dish gets built in one skillet. So I toast the nuts in the skillet, then I take them out, then I cook all the vegetables, then I add the pasta to the skillet. So it's like very
Just
much
because
contained.
I've already added the oil to the big skillet, I think I'll just toast them in a separate.
No, you can toast them in the oil.
Oh, okay.
And then that kind of also flavors the oil with a bit of the like nut flavor.
And I know when they're done, when they smell like popcorn, right?
That's right. You have been doing your reading, which I really appreciate.
Well, that's because I think we toasted these for the butternut squash. Was it butternut or acorn squash?
I'm gonna.
Okay.
Should I bring the pasta here?
So I'm toasting the nuts in the oil like this. And if you're worried about burning them, you can always turn your heat down to low, and that way it will happen a bit slower. So you don't have to be so worried about things, you know, moving too quickly. If you're like, oh, they're going to burn, you can just lower heat is totally cool.
I'm just going to stir the pasta a little bit, Allison.
Great. Yeah, my water is almost boiling. I'm using a pasta that cooks really quickly. So, but also this is the kind of pasta that is actually really delicious at room temperature. So don't worry about everything being ready at the same exact time. If your pasta is done before your vegetables, you can drain your pasta and then toss it with a little bit of olive oil and just kind of set it aside. So don't worry about the timing on
Too
it.
al dente.
You what?
I think it might not be cooked enough.
The pasta? Why don't you just do another minute?
Give it another minute.
Okay. It was sort of sticking together a little too.
Oh, I have a question.
Do you
Actually.
put oil in the pasta when you cook it?
Yeah, that's
I
what
don't. I will afterwards if I'm gonna like set it aside, but I feel like that's a waste of oil.
Okay.
So you just do salt.
Yeah, I always salt. Salt heavily. I always say salt like it should be salty like the sea. All right, those are almost done.
Okay, toss in your nuts.
Do you guys have, and I feel like with each ingredient that we add, we can talk about different substitutions, because something I'm trying to do right now is be really mindful of the fact that people are trying to go to the store less, and that like they may not have one ingredient, which is totally fine, because you can always, like right now, the recipe calls for walnuts, but we're using hazelnuts. Like, you know, it's fine.
Okay.
All right, these are almost done. I need someone over here to help me with my camera work. I need to grow my family immediately.
My glasses are very fogged up.
Yeah.
Allison.
When I
Okay.
first started cooking professionally, I wore glasses for most of my life. And only when I moved to New York did I decide to get contacts, because I couldn't handle the way that they fogged up when I would go from like the cold winter indoors. Okay, so I'm going to take my hazelnuts out. Here's what mine looks like.
There you go.
Okay. Mine need a little bit more. I don't really smell them yet.
Okay.
And you
Yeah, they
put
should
them
be like
into a bowl.
nicely golden brown. And then when they're toasted, you can leave all of the oil behind, and that's what we'll cook our shallots and our lemon in.
Yeah, I have a slotted spoon, so I'm just gonna cook them in this bowl.
Perfect. You're doing better than I am, because I only have a regular spoon. Okay. So in the leftover oil,
Leave it.
Just leave the pasta there.
I think, yeah.
yeah, you can leave. I would drizzle it with a little bit of olive oil.
Okay. Even in the.
So, and then I'm going to add the shallots and the lemon to the skillet.
We did a combination of leeks and shallots.
I love that. Yeah, I was looking
Kurt
up
Perry's
the recipe
idea.
and basically like use a shallot, use an onion, use a leek, use a scallion, do whatever.
We do have scallion too. Maybe we'll add a little bit. I don't know, because we're 1.5ing the recipe.
Yeah, I feel like the end goal here is to just make sure that there's something kind of you know, oniony or garlicky. If you only had garlic, that would also be really nice here. I'm gonna add my pasta. I'm using like a bucatini shape, which is my favorite shape.
We have spaghetti.
I love spaghetti too.
We had really good trenne a few weeks ago.
Oh, it's delicious. I've never had
I'm
it
an equal
before.
opportunist pasta
Like
lover.
the pasta that's in a triangle.
It's like penne but with 3 sides.
Yeah. Have you ever had that, Allison?
I haven't. Although I feel like there's a lot of pasta that I've had that they say the name of it and it goes up one ear, out the other.
Smells like popcorn.
Good. That's when you know they're ready. Perfect. Those look beautiful.
Okay, and do we add first the shallots or the lemon or at the same time?
Same time.
Okay.
Want me to help you?
Yeah.
Shallots.
So we're going to add the lemons and the shallots, and they're going to cook and kind of get starting to caramelize. And then after they're nicely brown, that's when we add the zucchini.
Okay.
You want me to put the lemons in now?
1 second.
Lemons and the onions go in at the same time.
And you put salt and pepper when you put it in. So if you want to get that now.
Okay. Can I go ahead and throw these in here?
Yeah, that's fine.
Perfect.
Okay.
Nice. Love it.
Put it in. Yeah, look at it. Okay.
And then you're going to season them, season them with salt and pepper.
Is that good? Okay.
Season it with salt and pepper.
Yeah. Do we try to keep the heat on medium high?
Keep the heat on medium high. Yep.
Yeah, medium high. You guys are cooking a bit more because you're feeding a bit more people, so it might take a little longer, but it'll happen. And while those are cooking, you can also add a little bit of salt to those nuts that you took out and put in the bowl.
I did salt. You want me to put more?
No, salt the nuts.
Hey, that's good, Mom.
Perfect. Those look so good.
So pretty.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Here, I'll show you mine. I'll bring you over.
Pretty.
I'm doing like a little mini version over here.
So cute.
Yeah. Are you guys making anything with this, or is this your main event tonight?
We're gonna make a salad.
A salad.
Nice.
And you can eat this at room temperature, Allison?
I love this at room temperature. It was sort of developed as like a picnic food almost because I felt like pasta salad was so bad most of the time and like always had this like canned olives and too much vinegar, and it was like the pasta was soggy and there was no texture. And I thought, okay, well, I really want to make a pasta salad that I would enjoy eating. And in the summertime, I tend to eat it outside a lot. And, you know, whether I'm going to the park or just kind of packing food in a little container to bring with me to the beach or something. And so I wanted something that would almost get better with age and didn't have to be served hot. So I think that, you know, for a dish like this, you're using a lot of olive oil, but that's because you want the pasta to kind of continue to marinate almost as it sits.
Yeah. Hey, Allison, people are asking for the recipe, so I'm going to put this in my newsletter, Wake Up Call. So if you guys want to subscribe,
Awesome.
just go to katiecouric.com, and we'll have the recipe tomorrow in Wake Up Call. What is the name of this dish?
I think it's called
I don't remember.
pasta with fried lemon and zucchini.
Yeah.
Okay,
feta?
that sounds good.
I just got it through the New York Times app.
Yeah,
Is
Carrie
this
got
in-
it through the Times app.
Is this in Nothing Fancy or?
No.
In
So
your
I all the recipes that I do for the New York Times are special for the New York Times, and then all the recipes that I do for my cookbooks are for the cookbooks.
Okay.
So I like to, you know, give people a reason to go everywhere, you know, without too much overlap.
We were gonna make the zucchini bread at the same time, but I think we got a little overwhelmed.
Yeah, I feel like I would have even been overwhelmed with that. So I'm going to take my pasta out, but I'm just going to set it aside.
Okay. Someone is asking about, Allison, someone's saying that we should put garlic in this. But why don't you put garlic in this?
I mean, cooking is pretty subjective, and when I was making this recipe, I thought shallots would be much nicer than garlic, but if you wanted to use garlic instead, you totally could. I feel like garlic goes in most things, and I try to make sure that there's enough variety in my recipes because I tend to favor the same ingredient. Like, I love lemons, I love anchovies, I love garlic, I love onion, and so I feel like if every recipe you read of mine and all it called for was lemon, garlic, and anchovy, you'd be pretty bored. So, you know, I think that just talking about different ingredients, I also really like shallots for this specific dish because lemons, especially when you cook them, are really kind of tart and they're bitter. They have a lot of texture, and shallots, when they cook, have a sweetness that garlic doesn't really have. So I think that they kind of sweet and bitter balance it out. Ooh, that looks so good.
Right? Someone's saying chopped parsley would be nice, and I agree.
It's already part of it.
Oh, it is?
That is in the recipe, y'all. So don't worry.
So when do we put the zucchini in, Allison?
I would say give it another minute, and then we can add the zucchini.
Okay. Someone was saying red pepper flakes. I like red pepper flakes, too, in almost everything. Do you?
I definitely do. That's another ingredient where I feel like if I called for it every time I wanted it, you'd be like, again? But to me, things like red pepper flakes are, if you look at where, here, I'll show you. I've got like a little setup of seasonings right by where I cook. So there's like chili oil and red peppers and red pepper flakes and soy sauce and olive oil and black pepper. And I consider those to be kind of basic pantry staple seasonings that I use across the board in almost everything. So if it's up to me and I'm just cooking for myself, I'm always adding crushed pepper flakes because I like everything spicy, but you know, that's not for everybody.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, someone wants to set you up with their brother, who's a doctor. Just FYI.
Okay, cool. I feel like, yeah, okay.
Okay, call me, whoever that was, and we'll
I am hoping to come out of this quarantine, yeah, with like very hydrated and engaged. So
yeah, okay, good. Okay, excellent. Okay, are we ready for the?
Yeah, I think we can add our zucchini now.
Take care. Is this mine?
Yeah.
And with something like this, do you usually add the herbs last so they don't kind of
Always, yeah.
down? Okay.
Yeah, so the herbs, I almost never add them during cooking unless it's something like thyme or sage or rosemary or oregano when I'm roasting. But even for something like this, I love to finish with like fresh oregano or fresh thyme and parsley and dill. I feel like the herbs kind of lose their joie de vivre as soon as they get cooked. So doing them, you know, at the end is going to preserve them almost like a salad. Like it kind of gives you a lot of freshness at the beginning, or at the end rather.
That should be the way.
Okay. Okay.
I'm going to add crushed pepper flakes because it's just for me.
By the way, not to be weird, but your lipstick looks really pretty.
Oh, thanks. Well, I did just apply it before we went live, so this is not my everyday work from home look. I dressed up for you guys. I am wearing slippers though, so don't be fooled.
Sure. Red pepper flakes, is that right?
Yeah, why not?
We like them.
We like them too. They're over here. I think they're over here.
And so zucchini is one of those vegetables that they lose. It's like the joke about when you cook a bunch of spinach and then you're left with like a tablespoon of spinach. Yeah. Zucchini kind of has a similar vibe where you start with all this zucchini and then you're left with like this much zucchini. So I think that people can be intimidated by the amount that this recipe calls for, but it's always the right amount.
You want to put these shallots, these onions? Oops.
So we're just looking to kind of cook down the zucchini like a little bit. We're not looking to necessarily brown it. We just want it to be really nice and softened and kind of coated in that oil that the lemons and the shallots cooked in. I'm just reading these comments. People are really, like, the comments are so funny. Is somebody keeping up with them?
Yeah.
What they say?
People are sharing their variations of the cocktail. Some people made a spritz.
Good.
Julia made a spritz.
I love it. Are you guys cooking, like 3 meals a day? Like, what have you guys been, what's the cadence been? Are you guys more snacking throughout the day?
Yeah, no, so we're trying to take turns at night, and everybody sort of cooks a meal. Last night, my husband's son, Henry, and his girlfriend, Candace, made really delicious rice bowls with a chicken and almonds and
Sweet potatoes
and apple, kind of a little sweet greens at home.
That sounds great.
Carrie's really been going crazy. She's the most adventurous chef in the group.
We made homemade.
That's great.
naan.
They made homemade naan one night.
That's amazing. Also, for whatever it's worth, I didn't go to culinary school either, so I feel like you can still go to journalism school and end up cooking and writing and reporting and doing all the stuff. So just saying.
Yeah, she made homemade roti. Is that what it's? Roti and
We made that with the chickpeas.
with chickpeas.
No,
With the chickpea stew.
With the chickpea stew, which is, I think everybody's been making your chickpea stew.
It's the season. It's we call it stew season now.
What about
I feel
the
like,
capers? Someone said.
Oh yeah, I have mine.
But we don't have to put them in yet, right?
No, you can add them closer to the end.
Okay, I'm gonna post this recipe, everyone. One night I made I know. Oh sure, I know Ina a little bit because I've interviewed her a lot. Okay, I'll get the bowl. And we made her lemon pasta with broccolini and lemon butter olive oil broccolini. I think we had some red pepper flakes. It was so delicious, Alex.
That sounds so good.
That's when we use the trenne.
And we made Ina shakshuka.
That's my dream. I'm like working towards just being like even introduced to Ina,
Oh my God, we could make that happen, Allison.
We could all hang out, the four of us?
Yeah.
I would die. I think that would be too much for me to handle. So this is what mine's looking like over here.
Okay.
I'm going to cook it maybe like another 2 to 3 minutes, but it's looking really nice and kind of soft and melted. If I were you guys, I would taste a zucchini right now. Just make sure that it has enough salt, and if you want it spicier.
Is it good?
I would cook it a little more.
She said a little teeny bit more cooking.
I would like a little more than
I just took my pasta out sometimes, especially if I'm cooking for myself. I just take the pasta out with tongs from the pot and I put it in a bowl. I don't even worry about messing with the colander.
Should I put the pasta in there, Allison?
no.
I would wait like another minute or two.
Okay.
But you can add your capers now.
Okay. You're good. Is that too high, you think, Carrie? Is that too?
She said medium.
I think it's a little high.
You just turned it up.
It's good. I'll do it.
So I left the hazelnut in there by accident.
Okay.
Oh, it's okay. It'll just join the party. He's okay in there. I don't
We
the
should
recipe in
remind
front of me,
people,
but
Allison, for people who are, don't show me that close. Yikes, that's so scary. For people who are just joining us, will you tell everyone what we're making?
Yes, we are making a pasta from New York Times. It is a pasta with lemon or fried lemon, zucchini, and feta. And it's basically like, you know, a really kind of springy, summery, not quite pasta salad, not quite pasta, but just like a really olive oily, delicious pasta with tons of zucchini, and it gets finished with fresh herbs and feta if you have it, and then like a toasted nut like walnuts or hazelnuts or pine nuts. So it's got, you know, a lot of tanginess and bitterness from the lemon. It's super rich from the olive oil, and then you finish it with feta, which is obviously cheese. What could be wrong with that?
Somebody's asking if they could make this with. Somebody's asking if they could make this with asparagus.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be so good with asparagus. And you could even add peas or something like this. This could very easily be summer fried for sure.
Okay. Should we add the pasta?
What do you think? Should we add the pasta now, Allison?
I think we should add the pasta now.
Should we turn the heat down or keep it on?
I would turn it down to like medium.
That looks so good.
And you can add something like a splash of pasta water now, just to kind of loosen things up and make it a little saucy.
We just threw that away. Should we just use regular water?
Okay. Honestly, add olive oil instead. It'll be better.
Just a little bit.
Whoa. This is really hot.
And then just kind of simmer it in there with the olive oil. Make sure it's like tossed. If you have tongs, you can kind of use that to like pick it up. So, because sometimes what I find with noodles, they'll get stuck in a spoon. But whatever tool you have is great.
And when do you put the feta on?
That's at the end. That's like an end game.
With the herbs.
Sitch.
Okay. I got this pretty bowl, Carrie. This was my grandmother's. This was your great grandmother's.
And how about your herbs? Do you have your herbs ready to go?
Yeah, we do.
We did a mix of dill and parsley.
Awesome, same. And I know
Carrie
the recipe
loves
calls
dill.
for oregano, but if you didn't have that, you could use
We have
thyme,
it.
or you could also
Don't
just
worry.
skip it.
Look, Allison, come on. We're prepared.
Oh my gosh, look at you. The little sous chef contingent over there. I love it.
Yeah. Carrie did all this. I didn't do any of it.
Adriana.
Adriana did it. Okay.
It takes a village, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so I wouldn't move it around too much, right?
Okay. I think
That looks great. That looks so, so great. So I would put that whole thing either in one big serving dish, or you could divide it between your bowls sometimes. If
But
I'm
we're
really
going to put it
feeling
in. Do you think this is big enough?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
perfect.
I've got a bigger one. Hold on. Hold on. Where's the big one?
Here.
No.
It's right here.
Oh, here it is. Okay.
Amazing.
Yeah, here it is. Here. Okay.
Perfect.
I like this kind of feels like a little Greek with the feta and the lemon.
Yeah, there's a Greek vibe to it for sure. I think that I was Parmesaned out from pasta. I feel like that's always my go-to, and it's always delicious. But I feel like when you can incorporate things like feta, especially for something a bit fresher, like a pasta salad vibe, then it's great.
So like this here. I think you can just put it in there.
Okay. Why don't you help me?
I will. Okay. Ready?
It's gonna be
Here, I can do it. I'll hold it and you push it all out.
Mommy, it's really heavy.
Okay. Here, why don't you hold it up and you hold it up.
Mom, it's really too heavy.
Really? I can hold it up.
Get me another oven mitt.
Here.
I love your teamwork.
Ready?
Sorry, that's not a good angle for filming.
This would officially feed 2 people, but you know, I will have leftovers, and I'm very excited about that.
There you go. That looks beautiful.
I'm very excited for this.
And here, okay. Then on top of it.
On top of that, I would just make it, you know, shower it with herbs. There's no like specific rhyme or reason how you should apply things. You could do feta first, just kind of crumble a bit on top.
Not too much.
It's kind of nice when you do the feta on a warm
all of
pasta
it?
because
That's
it does
too much.
really melt into it. No, it's perfect.
All that whole bowl of feta?
Yeah, we measured
No,
it.
you know what I would do? I would sprinkle the top with some of it, and then I would serve the rest alongside.
Okay.
That way, when people are serving themselves, they can add more feta if they want.
And then where are the nuts?
Right here.
Okay. Wait. Don't you put everything on top and then mix it, or how do you do it?
I don't even mix it. I just put everything on top.
Okay.
Like how I'm doing here. So everything just goes on top. And then when you serve, you can serve, you know, the extra nuts, the extra herbs, the extra cheese alongside. But I feel like when you mix it up, it becomes a different
That's the
vibe.
oregano. So pretty. And then this is dill and
Parsley.
parsley.
Yeah, and I'll finish with maybe some pepper. Maybe a little bit more crushed red pepper flake if you guys are already using that. That would be nice.
Okay. We're almost out, so we can use the rest. Okay.
Great. And then your nuts go on top of that.
The crushed red pepper.
Yeah, if you like it spicy, which, you know, I think we all do.
Whoa, that's a lot.
I know, but it's fine.
Okay, and what about regular pepper?
Oh, yeah. Regular pepper goes too.
Okay, and then
A little more feta on top.
more feta. Okay.
Just a bit.
Okay, and then
The nuts.
And then the nuts.
Wow.
that's so pretty.
It's so delicious. And like, again, this is something that you could make up until this point just like this, and then throw foil over it or plastic wrap and bring it to a picnic or a potluck whenever those are allowed again. But like, even if you and your family were just going outside to sit somewhere, like this is a really nice dish to do that with. So,
And you can
look,
do
they
it,
look identical.
right? Look how pretty. And that it's such a nice summery dish. And as you said, you could probably use different vegetables, as you mentioned, Allison. Instead of the zucchini, you can use peas or what else would be good? Asparagus.
Asparagus, peas, fennel would be really delicious in this.
Little pieces of broccoli, don't you think?
Yeah, broccoli, broccolini. I feel like if you had a bunch of kale or Swiss chard, you could always wilt a few leaves into that. Spinach would also be great. It's kind of just like, I feel like as long as you have lemon and the shallot and the feta, you can kind of pick any other quick cooking vegetable to take the place of the zucchini.
Well, should we take a taste together?
I think that we should, yeah.
I feel like we should. Carrie, get a fork. Adriana, I'll shoot it.
I look so bad.
Oh, she doesn't want to be in it.
Why?
Well, I think she didn't really clean up today.
I didn't really
Allison.
brush my hair today.
I hear you. I had a meeting this morning that I thought was just a phone call, so I didn't get dressed at all. And then they dialed in, and like the video camera opened up, and I was absolutely horrified. So I understand.
Yum! This looks so delicious. Okay, ready? Whoops, hot. I want to get a piece of the lemon.
That is really so good.
Here.
I feel like such a dork every time I eat some like my own food. I'm like, that's so good, but it's good. I love food though. I love to eat. So
So do we.
Eating is one of the great pleasures in life. Let's be honest.
it is, and especially right now, I feel like, you know, you obviously are doing like really important work with everything going on right now, and I think that it can feel helpless for people of like, what can they do to help? How can they feel connected to others? And I think that even cooking together virtually or making food for a neighbor or a lot, like, you know, someone in need or whatever is a nice thing to do. So.
And also, I think that just appreciating and enjoying the moment and living and, you know, being present, doing that over really delicious food. It's a great, I don't know, it's also a good way to relieve stress, I think.
Yeah, I think that the part of the reason I also love cooking, I mean, this is a hilarious example because we're literally on our phones right now, but I think that, you know, when I'm in the kitchen cooking, it's one of the few times a day where I'm not on my phone and I'm not refreshing Twitter and I'm not looking at the news. And it is kind of a nice way to just take care of yourself. So
yeah, it's very calming. Well, Alison, it's so nice to meet you. This was so much fun. We should tell people sign up for the newsletter. We're going to publish the recipe tomorrow, but also people should get the New York Times app, cooking app. And we can vouch.
You need to buy her cookbooks.
Oh, and what are the two?
Dining in and Nothing Fancy.
yeah, that's right. I'm gonna hire you as my PR person.
He's like your acolyte. She really is.
I love that. Anytime when this is all over, you're welcome in my small kitchen anytime to cook. So we'll love to have you guys over.
And I'll definitely arrange a date with Ina.
Amazing. I mean, I'll just camp out. I'll just drive up right now and camp in my car until it's safe to come out.
You're welcome. You're welcome to come here anytime. Alison, thank you so much.
Thank you. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day.
Okay, you too.
Bye.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye. Cheers.
Cheers.